Michaelbrent Collings. Hello.
How you doing? It's a pleasure to be here in your beautiful studio.
Thank you. Well, I have a few questions for you.
I have answers.
What is your best-selling book?
Oh my goodness, I don't know because I have 10 years almost of numbers and I've never gone through to see, but I would guess it's probably a book called The Haunted. And if it's not that one, then it might be Terminal. And it's not Stranger Still, which is my newest one, but it probably will be because that one's selling like crazy.
That's a great answer.
Thank you.
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
How is your isolation journal going?
It's fun. It's so for any of your audience who doesn't know, on my Facebook and Twitter and stuff, I'm doing a journal where I pretend to be going crazy because I'm all by myself, and my kids are in it. Maybe you've heard of my kids; they're pretty great. And so this like pretend version of me is just going crazy, and it started when I did a post about being out of baby corn. And it was when everybody was out of toilet paper, and so I kind of made fun of that, like, oh no, we're out of baby corn. And it just turned into this thing that everybody's really enjoying. So it's fun. It's actually kind of hard to come up with new ways to be crazy. Right now, my favorite chair, Brad, who is also one of my children in my crazy mind, has just deposed, has gotten rid of the dictatorship of the previous chair. And I'm living in the garage with a raccoon named Fred. So, you know, kind of normal.
I have one question for that answer.
Okay.
Who is your newest chair?
My favorite chair in the story is Brad, and Brad got uppity with me, so I cut his legs off. So I call him Legless Brad, and in my head, he's one of my actual children who I had with a coat rack as the other parent. So there's my coat rack spouse named J.J. Abrams, and we had a baby named Brad the chair. And Brad threw out the previous tyrant, the previous emperor of the United States of Collings. And so now Brad's in charge, which is too bad because he was a good kid.
Another question is, what is your weirdest fan experience?
That is a good question. I think that's hard because I've never had a fan be mean or nasty or anything. The people who read my books are so nice. And whenever they talk to me at a Comic-Con, I love it. A couple of times, somebody has started crying because they met me, and that was weird because like I'm just this normal guy, and I thought it was, and I'm not making fun of her because I'm really grateful that she likes my stories, and they mean so much that she started crying, you know? We all have big feelings that make us cry, but it was kind of like, you know, I'm just like normal, like I put my pants on in the morning, and my wife, who takes care of me, has to remind me to, you know, eat and stuff, so I'm nothing super special. So that was a little weird. And it was, again, she was being nice and normal. She wasn't weird. It was just like, really? You know? But it was nice for all that.
Next question. Have you made any movies?
Yes, I've written a lot of screenplays. And those are the sort of the stories that they make into the movies. And 2 of them got sold to production companies, and those are the people who make the movies, basically. And so one was called Barricade, and one was called Darkroom. And I'm really proud that I wrote the screenplays for those movies. And it's funny because they change a lot. So like the story I wrote isn't the movie that got made eventually, because they changed things. And that's okay, because I was really grateful that they believed in my story and they paid for my family's bills, and that's the most important thing, to take care of my family.
That is really sweet.
Oh. Well, don't tell, but I have a sweet family, so they deserve it. But don't tell.
Next question. What is your favorite book?
That's mine or somebody else's?
Yours.
Mine? I always tell people my favorite book I've ever written is whichever one I just finished. And because I love all my books, but they're hard and they're scary. And I come downstairs to my wife, who you might know, she's a lovely lady named Laura, and I come downstairs and I'll talk to Laura and go, this is it. This is the one where everyone discovers I'm terrible at this, and I'm a failure, and I'm an awful storyteller, and they're all gonna beat me up. They're gonna show up at my house and beat me up. And of course, because she's so nice, she always says, no, it's okay, and I keep going. But it's hard, and so when it's done, I'm like, yay! And I'm just so happy. That's always my favorite moment. So my favorite book right now is Stranger Still, and in a couple months when because that's my most recent book, and in a couple months when I finish another one, it'll be that book.
That is actually amazing. When I finished my first book, I was really annoyed because I was worried if my family wouldn't like it.
But yeah, and that's a thing that most authors never grow out of. I still feel like that. In fact, when someone comes up to me at a Comic-Con or something like that, and they go, I read one of your books, do you want to hear what I do? And it's kind of a secret, but they say, be one of my fans. Go, I read one of your books. You say that to me.
I read one of your books.
And I always do this. Because part of me is worried they're going to punch me. They're going to be like, I read one of your books. Pow! Thanks for stealing my time, you know? And so no matter who you are or how many books you've written, there's always part of you that when it's finished, you go, I don't think anyone's going to like this. But you keep trying, just like I know you're working on another book, and that's fantastic.
Well, bonus question.
Okay.
What are you working on now?
I am working on a book called The Forest. And it is about two kids, actually, or teenagers, who their friend is kidnapped and taken to this forest, and they're the only ones who can help him. And so they go in, and ghosts and scary things appear, and they don't manage to save their friend. And then 20 years later, they go back as grown-ups to the forest because they've sort of forgotten it, and they want to face their fear and all the things that scared them, and they start seeing the same ghosts, and they start seeing the same scary stuff, and they also start to wonder if there's maybe a way they can save their friend. And it's pretty fun. It's scary, and it's got some funny parts, and hopefully it makes people happy and smile while they read it. Like, it's scary, but I still want people to have fun.
That is a really good answer. I would have said that if I had that question asked for me.
Well, thank you. I have to say, I did not help you, certainly, because you're a professional interviewer. I didn't help you with these questions. And these are fantastic questions. I'm really impressed at what a good interviewer you are. So thank you for having me on 5 Questions with Ellee. I hope you do that with other people.
Well, it was nice to have you here. Bye!